Hello, fellow old schoolers. Echo Greg here with round number 6 of the Old Line Joust. This is an event put on by the Old Line Black Knight crew out of Maryland, held at a local VFW in Mount Airy, Maryland. This was an XPoints event in November of 2025, so using the 2025 points list. So this is round 6. Both of our competitors are 5-0. We have Tom Swindell on a big red deck versus Don Perrion on a kind of version of the deck, but with flyers. You'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute. So let's get into the deck lists. Tom's big red deck. He's got a bunch of mountains, a jousting grounds. So again, jousting grounds was a custom card created just for this event. It's kind of a mixture between Arena and City of Brass, where it taps for mana of any color and you take a damage. Key difference there, unlike regular City of Brass, it does not deal you the damage when it taps for any other reason, just when you add mana. And then it has the Arena function, pay 2 and tap it, pick a creature, your opponent picks a creature, and they fight. He's also got 4 plateaus for a white splash out of the board, 4 mana vaults, 3 Fellwar Stones, 4 Gauntlets of Might, 4 Shivens, 3 Fireballs, 3 Earthquakes, 4 Orgs, 4 Yidwinterfreets, 4 Disintegrates, 4 Bolts, and a Chaos Orb. In the sideboard, he's got 3 Spirit Links, 4 Disenchants, 3 Blood Moons, 3 Tomes, and 2 Discs. Tom has 0 points. He's in a completely unpowered, unpointed deck. So that's very cool to see, especially coming in one of the last 2 undefeateds here in the final round of the Swiss. His opponent is Don. Don is on, again, kind of like the deck, but with flyers. So he's running Balance, 2 Moats, Recall, Mana Drain, Brain Geyser, and a Mock Sapphire. Those are also all of his pointed cards, just there on the top row. He's got 3 books, 4 swords, 4 tundras, a bunch of islands, a bunch of plains, 4 disenchants, Chaos Orb, Strip Mine, Control Magic, 4 Azure Drakes, 2 Ices, 4 Sarahs, 4 Fellwars, 4 Counterspells, and a single Spirit Link. In the side, he's got a Dust to Dust, 2 Divine Offerings, 2 Copper Reds, 2 Disrupting Scepters, 2 more Control Magics, 2 City to Bottles, another Spirit Link, an Island of Walk Walk, Blue Elemental Blast, and I can't quite tell what that altered card is. It's a counter spell of some kind. Looks maybe a Force Spike. This should be an interesting matchup. Kind of permission-y with flyers against red burn and big creatures thing. Off the top of my head, it's really going to come down to who draws what. The permission style probably has the advantage, especially with the control magics. But having only the 1 blue elemental blast in the sideboard compared to the 0 red elemental blast that Tom is running. So yeah, I think I'd probably give the edge here to the flying deck. But let's get into the games and see how it goes. So we have Tom on the left with the LobsterCon playmat, and Don on the right with pretty sweet Doppelganger playmat. Quentin Hoover is a fantastic old school artist. So players are looking at their opening 7, deciding to keep. Looks like they are both good. And nope, Tom is shuffling his back, so he's going to take a mulligan. And Dom is keeping his. Alright, so Tom is taking a look. He's putting 1 on the bottom, deciding on what it's going to be. Puts a Disintegrate down. And off we go. Tom leads off with a mountain. He won the die roll. Passes to Don. Don just plays an island and sends it back. So Tom's showing his hand there. Bolt, Fireball, 2 mountains, and a Gauntlet, it looks like. So just plays a second mountain and passes. Don plays another island or Felwar Stone. That's only going to give him red mana, but it does ramp. We won't do any fixing. There's a Tundra, 4 mana, and there's a Drake. So 2/4 flyer. That is out of bolt range. So Tom's going to have to either spend 2 spells on it or wait a few turns to get enough mana. So he does get a Gauntlet of Might down, so it's going to give his creatures +1/+1 and turn all his mountains into mana flares while not helping Don at all. So pretty key there. But Don's got a Disenchant and then cracks in for 2, dropping Tom to 18. And now you can see Don has 2 blue open, so potential counterspell magic. Let's see if Tom plays around that or just makes him see if he has it. So plays another mountain, tap it 4, plays another Gauntlet. No counter, Tom just lets it resolve and takes his turn. Cracks in for 2, dropping Tom to 16, and passes back. So now Tom has all the mana in the world. We know he's got a Fireball, at least 1 Lightning Bolt in his hand. But elects not to play anything and just passes the turn back. Another crack in for 2. Tom drops to 14. Dom showing off his hand. There's definitely a counterspell in there. But another missed land drop for Don there. Which is not a problem Tom has. Tom has all the mana he could ever want and then some. But no play, just passing back. There's a Plains. That's the second source of white mana. Cracks in for 2. Tom's now at 12. Now I'm trying to figure it out. Yeah, if he wants to play anything, but no, I think he's just going to leave mana open, keep that counter spell up, and force Tom to do something here. And no real pressure for Dom to add anything to the board. So just a Felwar Stone from Tom and pass back. Just another Plains, another crack in. Tom's down to 10. Four mana for a book. And a pass back. So just, again, keeping that 2 blue open. So unless Tom's able to get something here, Tom's just going to really start running away with the game. Card advantage. Still has the only threat on board. And he'll at least be able to counter the first thing that Tom tries to do. Tom's just trying to think, figure out what he can do here. We know he's got Fireball and a Bolt. It looks like he might have had an Earthquake too, although Earthquake, outside of doing damage, doesn't really do much in this. And especially with Tom at half of Don's life, really not a great card to be slamming down here. Still thinking about what to do. Alright, he's going for a play. He's going to bolt the Drake. And he's going to bolt the Drake. Tom just lets that happen. Drake is gone. And then Tom just passes back. So it's a Swords by accident, but there's a Sarah. He's left himself a little open here. Just the 1 mana open, not going to be able to counterspell anything that Tom tries to play here. But in no real danger of being burnt out or anything. So there's a mana vault. Tom's got, I believe, 17 mana available right now. If he decides to use it all, so not sure. Maybe he's going to split it between the Sarah and Dawn, or if he's just going to throw it all at Dawn's face. So he's got 14 mana tapped currently. So in order to... Yeah, it looks like he put a bunch on the Sarah and a bunch at Dom's face. So Dom looks like he's going to 14. So, yeah. 14 mana, 12 to split, and then 1 to cast, 1 to bounce. So 6 damage to the Sarah, 6 damage to the face. So it's a pretty good answer for Sarah, and doing some damage too. Dom's going to pitch a balance. Yeah, not great in this case. To get the Sarah back, he'll be able to play that again next turn. And this time, because he got an extra land, he will be able to keep counterspell mana open. Which we know he has one in his hand. Tom expended a lot of resources getting rid of those 2 creatures. So, we know, again, he's got an Earthquake in hand. But he's got to do a bit more damage to Dom before he can pull that off for anything except for a draw. He is going to Earthquake. Yeah, but Tom very quickly got the counter, so I think Tom was just looking to send it to game 2 as a draw, but Tom says no. Quick counter spell. Tom knows he's got that Sarah coming back down. And I don't know if he's got another counter spell. It doesn't look like it in his hand. Look, he's just got several white cards. But still bluffing a counterspell. Cracks him for 4. Tom is now down to 6. Disenchants the Gauntlet. It's going to slow Tom down mana-wise, but he's got more than enough to deal with the Sarah. Play a Shivan of his own. But doesn't look like he has any of those. So, place another Vault, passes. Tom's going to draw from the book at the end of his turn. Kraken, put Tom down to 2. And then play out another Drake. And a turn, Tom bolt on down to 11, and it draws dead. We scoop it up and we go to game number 2. So again, for sideboard, Spirit Links probably come in. I don't know if you would bring in the... I mean, the discs are good, but Dom's got Disenchants, and he's very likely going to leave them in the deck because he saw the Gauntlets. So, Blood Moon doesn't look like it's going to be that effective. I mean, as you can see in Don's deck, really heavy basics filled. It's not like a typical the deck where it's lots and lots of non-basic duels. It's just the 4 Tundras. So Don's definitely be bringing in those Cop Reds, I would assume. He didn't see any creatures, but I would probably, if I just saw that deck play, I would assume that there were big red creatures in there, so I would bring in some control magic. Definitely bringing in that blue Elemental Blast. As far as what he would take out, I don't know. I mean, the Felwar Stones help ramp, but they don't really help you fix or anything like that. Yeah, again, it's tough to say what he's going to do because he didn't see Tom's deck really do anything other than burn spells. So maybe he'll think there's no creatures and take some swords out and the moat. Maybe he'll take the balance out since it's not really like an aggro matchup where Tom is going to flood the board. We'll have to see what they do. So they're working through their sideboard. We're shuffling up here for game number 2. Don won the first one, so Tom will be on the play. He's deciding whether he wants to keep his hand. Looks like he's got a good amount of mana in there and some spells. Can't really tell what they are. Definitely see some of those white border mountains. So, yep, he leads off the mountain. Both players are keeping. Don's got a plains. And just passes back. You see, it looks like Tom drew a book there. Oh, no, a Mana Vault. Which he's going to cast out. And then... can't really make out what's in the rest of his hand. There's an iron from Don. Tom taking a drink. And Don playing it safe and disenchanting the Mana Vault. Doesn't want to let Tom ramp out to anything scary on turn 3. There's a mountain and a Yidwin Afreet. So again, 3/6. If you attempt to block with it, gotta flip a coin or roll a dice, right? But whatever, it's a 50-50 chance that it can block. But no issues with attacking, and that's what the red decks want to do. So pretty good card for only 3 mana. Although it is 3 red, so very hard to play in non-heavy red decks. So Don just plays the land and throws a Spirit Link on it. Tom plays another mountain. Plays a Gauntlet of Might, so that makes that a Freet. Now a 4/7. But again, not going to have much effect until Don gets low enough. And then Don gets a Cop Red out. That's going to make things real tough for Tom here. His only answer, unless he boarded in discs, is for a Chaos Orb. But Tom's got a book, and again with that Gauntlet out, he's only going to have to pay 2 lands to draw from it. So he's going to get a lot of cards there. So there's a Drake from Dom. Yep, end of the turn, Tom's going to draw. And then, yep, he's just going to go to his turn. Playing a Chaos Orb, so yep, there's the Chaos Orb. It's huge. He's going to activate it. See if does anything in response to try and prevent the damage. No real perk. The only source he could do it on is the Afreet, and again with the Spirit Link and Dom being at full 20 life, there's really no reason to do that. So that's a good flip. Chaos Orb is gone, as is the Cop Red. So using the floating mana to play another Mana Vault, and then asking Dom how many cards are in his hand. I think he's worried about a blue Elemental Blast. He taps for 5 and disintegrates the Drake for 4. And then passes back. And Tom did it that way so he could draw from book at end of turn. Yep. So he is going to pay, untap the Vault, plays another mountain. He's got 2 in hand, he just passes back. So again, Tom's doing pretty good things. Oh, there's a disenchant for the book. Tom will draw, but the book is gone. So that'll slow him down a little bit, but he's already gotten some good value out of it. So there's 6 for a Shivan. No counter. But it looks like there might be a control magic in Dom's hand. Yep, there it is. So yep, it resolves, but then Tom has a disenchant, gets his Shivan back. So that's pretty big. Because he has a lot of mana to throw into it. It's a 6/6. He can pump it 14 times, so that is 20 damage on the board. So if Don doesn't have a swords here, he is dead. That's kind of the out-of-hand shenanigans that can happen with this big red deck and a gauntlet in play. So, yeah, he's also going to attack with the Yidwin. Yeah, and then Don just scoops it up. Again, the way that the Spirit Link works is it's a trigger, so you will take the damage, and then that triggers, and then you will gain the life. So if you go to 0 from the damage, you don't gain the life. It will not save you like Lifelink will in more modern Magic sets. Alright, so we go to game 3. Looks like both players are... Oh, nope. Tom is taking a look at his sideboard again. Seeing what there is that he might want to bring in. If anything... So we can definitely see it looks like he took out a Yidwin, an Org, his bolts. I think he realized that most of the things were out of bolt range, at least some of the bolts. But yep, Tom's happy with his sideboard choices, no further changes. So they both shuffle up, and we go to the pivotal game 3. Dom's looking at that Island of Wak Wak, seeing if maybe he wants to sideboard a little bit. Looks like he did. He just added the Wak Wak in, which again, probably legal. The sideboard would say you must have no more than 15 cards in your sideboard. You can bring in anyone. You don't have to take out. But looks like he's taken out a moat for that. He saw the Shivan, so he's realizing that moat might not be the best plan. There's at least one of the 2 out. Not sure if he has other ones still in there. But we'll see if we see a moat in game 3. So here we go. The Dom will be on the play, showing off his hand. Tom's mulliganing. Alright, he's good with his 6, throws one on the bottom, and off we go. So Plains and Pass, Mountain Pass. Neither of these decks has a lot of early turn plays. There's a Felwar Stone and just another Mountain and Pass from Tom. There's a Tundra. 2 mana for another Felwar Stone. And just a pass back. So Tom's got Counterspell mana open. There's an Efreet. He's going to Swords it right off the bat. So Tom's going to go up to 23. There's 5 mana. Yeah, there's a Sarah Angel. So we'll see if Tom has an answer for that. See 2 Shivens in hand, so there's an eventual answer. Oh, but there's also a disc, and that's not only is that going to take care of the Sarah, that's going to set Don's mana base back by blowing up those 2 Felwars. He cracks in for 4, dropping Tom to 19, getting gained the 3 life from the Yidwin. And Tom just passes back. Blows out disc. There's a Drake. And pass back to Tom. So Tom's missing land drops here. Dom's got plenty of mana. So cracks in for 2, down to 17. There's the 5th land. So 1 more away from getting those Shivens out. Yep, he's going to play an Org. So he's going to say, do you want to deal me 2 damage and take 6? Or do you want to just hold your guy back to block? Oh, there's a copper red, so take 2 and be able to not take any damage from the Org. Tom's at 15. He's got plenty of life to play with here, but he's got to find an answer for that copper red. Dom has 6 mana, so it's going to be real hard to sequence to burn around the copper red. It's not really what Dom's deck is set up to do. Tom needs to do one really big spell after another. But there's a disc, and that will take care of the copper red if it can survive. Oh, sorry, not a disc, it's a mana vault. So, mana vault into a ship. Shivan swords. In response, Tom will pump it so he gains 6. Don did that because he's got to, the copper red would stop that from doing anything, but he's got to get his damage in. Got to find a way to win this. There's another Drake, and looks like the way he tapped his mana, he just clearly shows he does not have a counter spell, leaving up 2 white instead of 2 blue. Tom will take a damage. Yep, he will disenchant the cup, and in response, Don will prevent the Org damage. So Don's reading it now, so yeah, the 2 damage is not enough to stop the Scare and Org, but that Sarah will, so. Cracks in for 4. Tom is back down to 19. Takes a damage from his vault, going to 18. Plays a mountain. Let's see if he has a fireball for that Sarah. Oh, he's got another Shivan. So, Dom tapping the top of his deck. He needs to draw something. Draws another plains. Tapping 4. And he's got a book, so that'll at least help him draw, but he has no cards in hand, so Tom knows the shields are down, although he can block and kill that Shivan. He'll lose both of his creatures likely because Tom has the mana to pump it to 8, but Tom decides not to untap, takes another damage, down to 12. He's got a Disintegrate, there goes the Sarah, and now he's cracking in with everything, so this is looking pretty grim for Don and pretty good for Tom here. The Org does trample, so Don's just going to chump the Shivan. He's going to take 6, dropping to 14. That's the first damage that Tom's been able to do. There's a Sapphire. Dom is going to draw, make sure you sequence the mana properly to leave the right colors open. I'm not sure, looks like he might have drawn a moat, I'm not sure there. But he's just passing back. Tom's figuring out what he wants to do with that bolt. He's going to take the damage and drop to 11, or if he's just going to... Yep, he will. Plays another mountain. Oof. Disintegrates. Swings in, and that should be lethal. That's 11, and he can pump it another 4 times for 15 damage, and Dom is at 14. Yep, he's counting it up now. Oh, he's going to Divine Offering his own book, so he'll live a turn. This is a Divine Offering he drew. So he goes to 4. Just checking that the right Drake was removed, but it is. The other Drake in the yard is that. There's another book he's going to draw, but he won't have any mana. Oh, the swords, but no mana to play it, and he was at low enough life that the orc would have gotten him anyway. So, well, that was quite a good match. Tom takes it down. That was the end of the Swiss. So Tom finishes 6-0. Dom will finish 5-1. That's going to put them both into the top 8. So Tom will be the number 1 seed as the undefeated 6-0 player going in. The top 8 is going to be Tom. He will be playing off against, let me pull it up real quick. So the top 8 is Tom Swindell, the 1 seed, Michael Scheffenacker, the 2 seed, Jared Smith, 3 seed, James Owens, the 4 seed, Don is the 5th seed, Brian Chasnoff is the 6th seed, I am the 7th seed, and Sean Meyer was the 8th seed. So Tom will be playing Sean, Mike Scheffenacker will be playing Brian Chasnoff. We haven't seen Brian or Scheffenacker on screen yet. Brian is on a mono black deck. Scheffenacker is on a kind of more mid-rangey, control-y lion bolt type thing. Doesn't have the lions. He's got scavenger folk Javeliers and Acacian Javeliers instead. We saw Jared Smith and Don on, and then James Owen is on a disco troll heavy black type deck. So those are our top 8s. We only have 1 match each in the top 8, so we have 1 in the quarters, 1 in the semis, and obviously the finals recorded. So don't have all the matches for you, but we do have 3 more to come as we get into the top 8 of this really great event. So thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you for the top 8.